Hello, everyone, and welcome to another authored highlight for the Your Voice, Your Choice book. This is a multi-authored book that tells the stories of 20 women and their transformations all throughout life, and we can't wait to release it to all of you. My name is Rachel Freemon Sowers.
And I'm Shauna Beatty, the publisher and co-author of Your Voice, Your Choice. And I want to introduce Nicky today, who's one of the co-authors in our book. And Nicky and I have known each other for quite a few years through my mom, actually.
Yeah.
So, Nicky, I'll let you introduce yourself to everybody.
Hi, everybody. My name is Nicky VanMinnen. It's really nice to be here.
Well, I can't wait to dive into this interview because, Shauna and I have interviewed so many really just freaking remarkable women for this book. And I can't wait to share your stories with the world. We can't wait to share your stories with the world. So my very first question for you, Nicky, is what made you say yes to being a part of the Your Voice, Your Choice book?
Actually, that is very simple. I've always wanted to write about my story, but never found the opportunity or had the opportunity. So when Shauna mentioned it, I was like, yes, let's do it.
We find so many times, even for myself, that it can feel a little bit scary to put yourself out there. It takes a lot of courage and a lot of bravery. What has given you the courage to tell your story?
Well, I guess mostly because it happened at such a young age. I was only two, barely two. So it wasn't as hard for me. Part of it was difficult because I had to go back to the people that actually were there when the accident happened or who were there when I was in the hospital. So it's been an up and down road, but it mostly was pretty easy for me.
So, Shauna, I'm wondering, since you are, the resident writer who's helping put all of these stories together, what spoke to you most, and don't give it all away, what spoke to you most about Nicky's story?
Oh, you know what? I'm going to give a little bit away, but
Okay,
I
just
think
a
it's,
little.
I think
Not-
just a little
just-
bit, just a little bit.
Just a little.
And Nicky, you're actually going to have to answer this better than how I can answer it. But, throughout the course of your story and the time that we've talked together, you've never used the word disability.
No.
And that is with intention. So just share with us briefly how you view your world versus how others view you.
I view my world as, yes, there are limitations, but at the same time, everybody has limitations in their life. Mine are just a little more, well, for some people, a little more noticeable. For others, they don't know it. So, and I've never liked the word disability. It just, no, it gives me, it gives me the creeps over my body. The chills, that's the word. Not the creeps, the chills. So that's why I chose limitations. Yeah.
I think, oh my gosh, perfect words. If we want to talk about perfect words, it is, you hit the nail on the head, Nicky. Everybody has limitations, whether people can see them, whether they can't see them, whether people think, every single one of us walks around and we have things that are happening to us and that have happened to us or that are happening in the current world, right?
Yeah.
And the limitations, I see you, and I can't wait to read your story and have so many other people read it because they will identify with your story about how you've really turned your limitations into something that are not you can overcome them.
Yeah.
Like you're working through them. Like I see your art online on your Facebook posts. I mean, you're expressing yourself in so many different ways. And what may be seen as a limitation to someone else can actually be seen as a superpower or a really freaking great opportunity to be like, this is how I'm living. Take it or leave it.
Yeah. And that's basically how I live my life now, Take it or leave it, This is how I deal with stuff, If you don't like it, oh well, but it's working for me.
Well, I mean,
I wish we could all adopt that attitude. Like, honestly, hey, Rachel, I know exactly you're thinking it. I'm saying it. And, it's actually, your story or your experience right now has actually sort of brought you and your parents a bit closer together. Because of this, you're actually flying to France next month to see them.
Yeah, I'm going to go see them on September 4th, and I won't be back in Calgary till about November 21st. So once the book launches, I'll actually be in southern France with my parents. So.
Oh, I mean, well, we have to do an interview from southern France. I'm just saying this right now
because I know.
Shauna knows me. I love some international interviews. I mean, like I'm all up on that.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, like again, it's like this transformation, right? And how it was, how you came into this, and then it's still happening. Yeah. And Shauna, you can add something to this about how we say over and over again, transformations happen throughout our lives. It's not just one.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Reinvention, change, transformation, all interchangeable. But yeah, I mean, I even have a hard time picking out, I mean, my story is well underway, but picking out what aspect that I wanted to write from. And I'm not the only one. There's other authors in the book that were sort of challenged with that. They were like, okay, which story? I have so many stories to share, right? And so sometimes it came down to that. But I mean, from the get-go, Nicky, you were pretty definitive in what you wanted and share your story, which I've known you for years. And I'll be honest, I don't know, I do now, but I didn't know Nicky's story. Only, I'll be honest, only because I didn't want to lend any energy in that direction. It was just, I don't know. I've just never looked at you any differently than anybody else. So why should I know your story, I guess? So, yeah.
No, that's yeah, I guess you didn't know.
Well, and that's, I want to go back to the word, Shauna, what you said about reinvention and about the transformation when we reinvent ourselves and how we choose to live our life. Nicky, I just want to say thank you so much for agreeing to be a part of this book, for you to be vulnerable and open, for people to see and hear your story, because I absolutely know, and I know Shauna does too, we have the same conviction, passion about it, is that women and pretty much, I'm going to say anybody is going to be inspired by the stories of reinvention in this book, and I can't wait for them to read it. So I just want to say thank you so much. Shauna, is there anything you want to add before we end the interview?
I don't know. I mean, there's, we're coming to the end. We're getting close to the launch. So there's a lot going on. And there's just, I guess, we need to do maybe some post interviews, right? After the stories get out there and we share with our friends and our family and beyond. I think it'd be really cool just to kind of wrap things back, come back together and share those things with us, maybe within a half a year or something like that. But I'll probably leave it at that for now without giving out too much more. Yeah, I'm going to talk too much about the stories.
Yeah, don't talk anymore about the stories.
No.
All right, my friends. Well, thanks again for tuning in. Thank you very much, Nicky, for being a part of the book again. And we cannot wait for all of you to read about the reinvention stories of 20 women. Until then, we'll see ya. Bye.